Alright, hey guys, Simon here, and we're playing Alice Madness Returns. So at the end of the last video, I ran out of hard drive space, but you didn't really miss all that much. It was the marble section, or the rolling head section, and we were pretty close at the end anyway. We dropped down into a wheel, and then went into an accelerated thing, and then shot up into the exit. So it wasn't very much, and there's no story, no humor, nothing particularly funny or interesting. So you didn't really miss anything, to be honest. Anyway, so now we're back. This mission should almost be complete, given how long this level has been already. There's been no story this whole level. I can't believe it. There's no characters. Like, what are we doing here? It feels like this game's... It really does feel like this game's unfinished, to be honest. Not in a good way. Not even in a way... Wait, is that a secret to the side of the door? Not even in the way where, okay, we just need to clean up some bugs and then we can ship it. Not in that way unfinished, but more unfinished in the sense that they haven't actually recorded all the story or even written all the story, I don't know. They've actually designed all the levels. That's what it feels like. I mean, this part of the game is just completely missing a story. And the gameplay is like missing a lot of variety. Those two, alright. So they have different attacks depending on whether they have pokes or knives, it seems like. Okay. Let me use that. No, lock on. One. Oh no, are you kidding me? Alright, come on. Come on. Kill them already. I mean, look, see the door? Like, you break off their arms and they can't attack you anymore? It's kind of interesting. I mean, the enemy designs, they've also obviously put a bit of thought into how they look and all that. It's just that it doesn't seem like they've put as much thought into how they play, you know? Like, you have the doors, they have different arms and different weapons which does different things, and then when you attack them they break apart into pieces and they lose abilities and their AI changes a little bit. I mean, all of that is very interesting, except when you actually fight them, all you do is you take your unicorn pony and punch them until they die. So they've put all this work into it, but they haven't actually considered how, like, what the implications are in terms of gameplay. Yeah, so that when you play the game, it's just kind of boring to fight them. And that's a real shame, right? I mean, that's not what you want your game to be like. Like I don't don't know. I mean, they've got all these ideas, and they make the enemies, but they're not focused on gameplay, and so the gameplay is pretty mediocre. Okay, more fire. And these things are completely separate from the gameplay. It's not like we're finding clues in the game and learning this stuff.
I had a role in my family's demise, but I did not start the fire. Centaurs don't live in Oxford, but a certain doctor did. I saw him, a preening undergraduate. Now I remember him. That key belongs to Lizzie's room.
Okay, like, I mean, okay, we've got a story here, but it feels like it's not me who's solving the puzzle, you know what I'm saying? I didn't do anything to figure out that story. It's just happening automatically. So I mean, I'm just a passenger here, right? I'm just a bystander. Whereas in the game, you're supposed to be in control. Unless it's making some sort of, you know, clever commentary about being a bystander, I guess, but I don't feel that. I don't see that. Anyway, let's just see what's going on next. Although I have to say, the slightly more difficult combat sequences are more interesting than the easy ones. I mean, usually I would caution against the assumption that more difficult equals more interesting, or more difficult equals more fun. But in this case, right. And in this case, it seems like the more difficult combat really is more fun. Look at that train. It's some sort of Gothic cathedral on wheels. It's awesome. Look at the design of that thing. It's amazing. Yeah, this game, man, they do some things really well, and then they do other things completely bad, really. And then the game turns out to be not all that enjoyable to play, and it's a real shame. Look at that thing. I mean, look, the idea of a Gothic cathedral on wheels for a train, it looks pretty awesome, right? But I mean, what's the bet? What's the bet that once we actually get to the train, it's just gonna be really boring gameplay? Maybe we're gonna hop. See those? I think those are. Can I zoom in? So I think, just looking at that, I'm guessing what's gonna happen is we're gonna land on the back of the train and we're gonna have to fight our way across or something. And it's gonna be waves and waves of enemies. It's gonna be really grindy and boring. That's my guess. Maybe I'm wrong. But based on my experience of the game so far, I would guess that that's how the game plays out. We'll see. I mean, if it turns out better than that, then I'm happy. I'm being cynical here, but I'm quite happy to be proven wrong in this case. Alright, what's going on here? Like that, when the doggo is breathing fire, she is unable to turn as quickly. Interesting mechanics, but you never need to use it in the actual combat, you just mash the unicorn pony. Wow. Look at those things. Cool. So now we're in some sort of door factory. Where's the other one? How can it shoot me and I can't shoot him? Come on. Were they numbers? Are they seriously numbers when you hit the enemies? I swear I saw numbers. Let me just cut this guy. I don't see any numbers. I don't know, maybe it was just a decorative thing. I swore I saw a 21 when I was hitting the flying thing close up. A baby inside your brain. Does that mean anything? I guess that's supposed to mean something? I don't... I can't tell if that should be insulting or not. Like, is it some sort of comment about how women, all they care about is babies? Or all they're good for is babies? Is that what it means? Or why is there a baby in the brain? Can't tell if misogynistic or not. But I suspect there might be a bit of that. There's a secret back there, I can't open it yet. There's no pigs now, so alright, let's keep going. Actually, no, there's a secret there. Alright, so here there's a secret. Ew. Well, I guess we shouldn't be too surprised if it turns out we're some sort of rape victim. Not too surprised at all. What is that? I have no idea what that is. Oh, is that the ants? That's an ant with a ribcage, I see. I mean, I don't know what it means, an ant with a ribcage, but okay. Is that a character? That's a character. So we're finally gonna meet some story thing.
Am I not the most wretched and selfish of fortune's fools? Oblivious, I live in a training ground for prostitutes. My mentor is an abuser and purveyor. I've been complicit with my sister's murderer and the killer of my family as he corrupted my mind. I sought relief from my pain and you turned me away from the truth.
You are almost there, almost free from what you fear. You could have been cured. You could have forgotten.
Abandon the memory of my family.
They are dead, and you should be
You
too.
misbegotten abomination. Murderer, you blood-sucking parasite. The damage you've done to children. The abuse.
I provide a service. In the great and awful metropolis, appetites of all sorts must be gratified.
My family. My mind. The infernal train.
The train is your invention, your defense. I merely set its schedule and itinerary. The train is coming with its shiny cars, with comfy seats, and wheels of stars. So hush, my little ones, have no fear. The man in the moon is the engineer.
I'll stop that train if it's the last thing I do.
As you wish, it will be.
And we go to the train. It's like the story... I don't know. I mean, now we know what's going
Your
on.
lust, and where your body is, your mind will follow. Perhaps it's already there.
Now we kind of know what's going on. But it feels like we're not part of the story, you know? Like, all the things we do, jumping platforms, killing enemies and all that, it's got nothing to do with how Alice figures out all these things, it seems like. Like, I don't know. Everything's... Like, it doesn't feel clever. It doesn't feel like there's some sort of revelation. Okay, so now we're back in the quote-unquote real world. I don't think this is the real world. This is not the real world, so this has never been the real world the whole time. I'm guessing. We're not going that way? Alright, let's just run around until we get on the train. Here we go. So this is... I guess this is where they turn children into prostitutes? Is that what happens here? The guy's running like a child prostitute ring or something? Might be brainwashing little kids? I think that's what's going on. And trying to steal my family's money? I think I'm meant to go there. Let me just check this way. Yep. Alright, I'm meant to go there. Okay. I mean, were there ever any clues earlier on in the game? Like, if they sprinkle some clues in, so the player could kind of try to figure it out. Or even if they don't figure it out, if they can think back and think, oh, I get it now, I get what's going on. Then that's cool. Like in Bioshock, when they finally show you that Fontaine is controlling you using Would You Kindly, that's amazing. Because then all of a sudden you think back and you realize all those times he was saying Would You Kindly, he's brainwashing you. You know, like there's a connection there. Like even though when you're playing the game you don't realize. Well, first of all, there's still a story there. It's a fake story. The guy was lying to you, but it's a fully fleshed out story. And then in the end, the plot twist happens, and it all makes a different kind of sense. Like it all makes sense. Here, nothing makes sense until all of a sudden she figures it out, and you don't even know why she figures it out or how. The story is just not very good. I mean, the concepts for the story, the fact that the girl is being brainwashed and the whole city is being brainwashed for prostitutes and they're trying to steal her parents' money and all that, that is an interesting idea for a story.
You oozing sore of depravity! Children wearing their names around their necks as if they're breeding livestock!
A declaration of their pedigree. You could use one. They're proud to display their provenance.
You brute! They can't remember who they are or where they're from. How many minds have you twisted into forgetfulness?
Not enough. Yours would have been a triumph. Still, you're an insane wreck. My work is done.
You know, the story is actually kind of have some interesting ideas behind it. It's just that the way it's being told is just completely awkward and weird and nonsensical. I don't know, like, how would you end up with something like that? You didn't give the story writer enough time to put everything in, or you don't put him in an important enough role in the team, or maybe you had to chop and change a lot of stuff near the end, and so then the story didn't get time to be rewritten or something. Maybe. Anyway, as we said, we are on the back of the train. We're gonna have to travel along the train somehow. Probably fighting enemies room by room. Anyway, I think we're gonna take a break here. Yeah, so the weapons, we've upgraded all of those, can't do anything else with teeth. The memories is basically just this stuff. Like, you just kind of click on them and then they talk at you again. Nothing that important or interesting. Alright, I'm gonna take a break here. When we come back, we are chapter 6, The Inferno Train.